I definitely felt that I wasn't supposed to be here.
If you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know that my wife and I are big fans of detective games. So recently I bought the Dark Detective, the Secret Salami game, and you want to know, is it fun? Is it worth buying? I'll let you know in 5 minutes. First, I want to talk about presentation, which is how it looks and sounds like. As you can see, you play as a 2D duck called Eugene McQuacklin in this game, and the game goes for a simple 2D cartoon art style, reminding me a little bit like South Park. The advantage of using this art style is simple and it's timeless and it won't age poorly. As for sound, all the characters are voiced.
I don't want to be Laura's enemy and to get rid of Freddy. The Salami bandit decided to frame him.
And the cutscenes are voiced as well.
It's time for you know what?
This makes the game a more enticing experience, and even my infant son likes to sit down and watch me play this game. Next, I want to talk about gameplay. You go around looking for clues in an attempt to find out who the Salami bandit is. I'll explain more about the story in a while, but I want to focus on gameplay here. You also can choose to question the people around you in order to gather more clues. And after you gather enough clues, you piece together a line of logic in your detective handbook. And after you complete your detective handbook, you can then move on to the next scene in the game. This formula repeats itself over and over again in the story, and I'm glad to say I did enjoy the experience. It was quite intriguing to find out exactly who the Salami bandit was. And if you're ever stuck in a spot of the game where you cannot find the next line of logic or don't know what else to do next, the game has a hint button that you can activate to help you scaffold to find out what are you missing in your clue book, and so on and so forth. And there are portions in the game which are genuinely very difficult. Next, I want to talk about something that all detective games rely heavily on, and that is story. Is the lore good? And I'm glad to say that it is good, even though the story in the game is quite low stakes, meaning that there's no murder, there's no great theft. It's just simply the case of the Salami bandit and the stolen lunch. This game still managed to draw me in, and I find that the characters here are very endearing, especially the main character, Eugene McQuacklin himself. If I do have complaints, it's not with the story. My first complaint is sometimes the visuals, the pictures will go outside the viewable screen. Like just now you saw my exclamation mark go outside the screen. So it shows a bit of poor product testing. And another complaint I have is that the game for me feels very short, although it's understandable from the low price it's charging. If I'm not mistaken, I bought the game for about 10 USD, so I guess it's justifiable considering how short the game is. So overall, what do I think? I did find the Dark Detective Secret Salami an overall enjoyable experience.
He's a chill guy.
I definitely appreciate the effort used in voiceovers, where unlike games like Detective Pikachu Returns, where voiceovers only happen in cutscenes, Lucifer Within, another detective game where the talking and the voiceovers only happen in special scenes. Another thing I appreciate about the Dark Detective is that even though the case itself is low stakes, it just involves the theft of a missing lunch, and it still managed to draw my attention and my interest in it. This is as opposed to other detective games that commonly have very high stakes, like 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, or the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Both games are very fun in their own right, and the high stakes do add a level of tension, but the unique thing about Dark Detective is that the low stakes do add a bit of whimsical fun about it, even though things don't go the way that Eugene McQuacklin planned. All in all, I give the game about 7.10, and it's definitely a fun game to play and fun to watch also. So it's fun for the family if they just want to spectate. With that, thank you for listening. I'm the 5 Minute Reviewer and signing off. Have a good week ahead.